Hello everyone, this is Gene from NYC, and this is an early morning video, I guess. So, there's a reason why I'm filming Kingdom Hearts, and it's not because of Kingdom Hearts 3, though I have spoken to my brother, and he says that he's enjoying KH3, so that's good. It was never quite my game, but I'm happy that he's happy about it. Also, I spoke to my ill family member. They're feeling better. Right there, about where I expect personality-wise. You know, ornery, angry, in joyful enough spirits to make passes at the attractive doctors at the hospital. So that's pretty much what I expect of them personality-wise when they're feeling better. There's talk of possibly surgery and rehab. Apparently, what was causing the pain in the leg, which is what they went into the hospital for, was a possible infection due to fluid. It's a weird situation. So anyway, thank you to those who expressed well wishes in the comments, and again, if you said a prayer or if you had a positive thought toward me and mine, again, it's very much appreciated. So that's that on the medical front. I just wanted to share my thoughts on just a few thoughts on some stuff about the Aladdin live action film that I believe is going to be coming out. I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but given all the press attention, I'm thinking it's relatively soon, probably sometime in spring, maybe April or May. I don't know, but again, given all this attention, I think it's coming out soon. Now, the biggest thing that's been in the news is the Genie. We finally saw the CGI Will Smith Genie. And a lot of people are like, oh my god, it looks awful. How do I put it? I'm of a slightly different opinion. I don't think it looks good, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So I have to say that. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. I think actually the form where we sort of see him, I guess, in his human form, where he's dressed in the very gaudy blue clothes. I think there was late last year, there was like an Entertainment Weekly cover that showed him in the, I guess, like human Genie outfit, which was obviously it was obviously inspired by the musical version of the Genie. I think that version of the Genie is worse than this CGI version. That's not to say both are good, right? But there's a difference between a D and an F, right? I would say that CGI Genie is a D, and again, Will in that gaudy costume is just an F. That's just my opinion, just going by the look of it. I think what throws me off the most about CGI Genie, especially in the trailer or teaser, whatever it is, where they show him coming out of the lamp, is that the Genie in this one is so muscular, right? If you remember the Genie from the original film, he wasn't a very muscular guy. He was very big, you know. His head is big, his chest is broad, right? Big arms, comically, but he wasn't muscular, right? Because he was based on Robin Williams, basically. And Robin was a big guy, but not a muscular guy, right? He was a bit on the chubby side, a bit on the flabby side. And the Genie kind of resembled that. This version of the Genie, especially since they show him from the back briefly, I'm like, what? He's yoked. He's jacked. I'm like, where in the world did he find the time? Well, he's trapped in there for like 10,000 years, so he has plenty of time. It's like, where in the world did you get gym equipment? A freaking lamp that apparently is an itty-bitty living space. But anyhow, that was what threw me off the most. I think personally that here's how I see it. Again, it's no proof, it's just something that just came to mind. I think that somebody thought about like what the Genie is as a character, and they figured, well, you know what? He's a prisoner. He's stuck in the lamp for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. What do real-life prisoners who are stuck in a small cell for many, many, many years do? They work out. And so that's what I personally think is the inspiration for the more muscular version of the Genie. I think somebody thought about prisoners and how there's not much else to do but, you know, work out and eat and fight to survive. And they figured, hey, you know, let's kind of, you know, riff on the prisoner aspect of the Genie by making him very muscular. Which is, on its one, I can kind of understand it if my hypothesis is right, but then on the other, it's like, yeah, but there are actually a few characters who should not be muscular, and the Genie's one of them. It's like one of the very few times I actually don't like seeing muscles on a man, and that's one of them. So that's my thoughts on the Genie. Not as bad as I thought, not terribly good. I think the human look is worse. I still think to this day that they just should have casted somebody from the Broadway musical. They should have got one of the Broadway musical actors to play the Genie. Either, you know, do the voice work for the Genie, make the Genie in CGI, and have the Broadway actor do the voice work, or just hire the Broadway actor to play the Genie, like in the film itself, as a live action actor. And that's where I'm kind of caught. It's like a lot of people I've seen various videos where people are criticizing Disney for hiring Will Smith at all, which I think is an unfair criticism. Look, I'm not going to jump on Disney or get mad at them for basically doing what they did back in the early 90s when they were making this film. The whole point of having Robin Williams as a part of the film was to have a big name, well-known comedian that older audiences would be interested in seeing playing the main comedic character, right? It worked in the early 90s. They got Robin Williams. Now, they did Robin dirty by not respecting his wish to not... How do I put it? To my understanding, what Robin Williams wanted was to do the film work, but he didn't want them to use his name, basically, to promote the film. And they told him they wouldn't do that, and then, of course, you know, Disney broke their word and did just that. He was one of the big selling points of the film. His character was one of the big selling points of the film, and to my knowledge, after that, Robin Williams swore he would never work with Disney again. And unfortunately, I don't know if he ever settled his differences with Disney prior to his unfortunate suicide in 2014. So that's that. But just the idea itself, you know, getting a well-known comedian that older audiences will be familiar with and interested in, and using him as a selling point for the film to play the comedic Genie character. No, I'm not going to get mad at Disney for basically doing the same thing that they did back in 1990 or 1991 whenever they cast Williams, right? The film came out in 92. The film's always made a year or two prior before it comes out. So I'm not mad about that. And I don't think it's fair to criticize Disney for basically going back to the well. That being said, I also do think that it's weird. It's like I don't criticize again, the general idea. At the same time, I do think just purely from an actor perspective, right, Will's not the best choice. I don't think there really is a best choice. That's the frustrating thing about this role. It's always going to be Robin Williams' role. And there's nobody, regardless of whether you're a well-known comedian or you're a Broadway actor, who will ever live up to that, right? This, especially with Robin's passing, the role of the Genie has become sort of like, you know, epic myth, right? It can never be duplicated. It can never be replicated. And people are always going to see it as Robin Williams' role. I mean, there was a, what is it, that channel where they do like the funny movie trailers. I forget what it's called, but I remember a few years ago they were doing one about Aladdin, right? And they were doing this parody of Friend Like Me, and there was a part where the guy's, you know, singing as the Genie, and he's like, You're never, ever gonna recast me. And you know, it's true. You really cannot put anybody else in that role but Robin Williams. But Robin's gone, and you have to move on. So it's a real tough spot that I think Will Smith, and I think any actor in that role is in. But still, I do think that they probably should have been with a Broadway performer. But since they didn't, I do think any well-known comedian is just going to be in caught between a rock and a hard place. And I think Will, in particular, is caught because the whole thing about Will Smith, and I've got nothing against him as an actor or a musician, is that I got nothing against him in that regard. I've seen a few of his movies. I remember Fresh Prince, so I've seen a bit of his work. And I know that he actually has a surprising range, but the whole thing about the Genie is that he's wild and he's zany and he's over the top. He's Robin Williams as a cartoon character. Will Smith is like the antithesis of Robin Williams, right? Robin was zany, big, over the top. Will is, slim, chill, relaxed. They are literally the polar opposites of each other in nearly every way. So I think Will is caught where if he tries to stick to the way Robin Williams played the Genie, people are just going to get upset because they're going to feel like he's imitating. And if he strays too far and he tries to make the role his own, then people are going to be upset because now it won't be showing respect to Robin Williams, and plenty are going to feel that, oh, he's trying to steal Robin's role. You can't do that. So he really is caught in a tight spot. And I feel for him, but I don't envy him. I think he's doing the best that he can. It's not an easy situation. So we'll see what happens. So there's that. There's my opinion on Will Smith as the Genie. I also remember reading something recently from comicbook.com, so I lost a few brain cells in that, but talking about a new empowering theme or anthem for Jasmine, which apparently is going to be added to the film because, we must add another progressive song to a beloved film. Now look, I'm not against adding a new song for the film in and of itself. That is a practice, for example, that comes from musicals. There's been musical adaptations of Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King and other films, and because musicals tend to be longer than movies, right, they add new songs. So I'm not opposed to that in and of itself, but my whole thing about adding a new song is, first of all, will the song fit? Will the song fit the movie? Will it fit the situation at hand? Will it flow properly, right? Because a lot of songs actually get cut from musicals, from Disney films, because they may be good songs, but they impede the flow of the film. In fact, one of the most famous examples that I know of is the song Human Again from Beauty and the Beast. That song had originally been planned for, I think it's supposed to come in right after Something There, and right before the, movie's main love theme, Beauty and the Beast, The Big Dance. But when they were, making the final touches to the film, they realized that having basically 3 songs, one after the other, impeded the flow of the film. So Human Again ended up being cut. To my knowledge, it was actually used in the Broadway musical. And then I think later on, at a certain point, I think in the 2000s, when Beauty and the Beast was re-released, then the song was restored. But the original, 1992 theatrical release didn't have that song. And didn't have that song not because the song is bad. I've heard this song. It's a perfectly fine song. It's a nice, happy number sung by The Help, basically. But when you have, again, 3 songs that are following each other, one after the other, of the 3, which do you cut? Do you cut Something There, which is establishing that the Beast and Belle are starting to view each other differently and starting to fall in love? Do you cut the love theme from the film itself and the big dance of romance and all that, the most iconic scene in the film? Or do you cut the song that's about the help and how they're happy that they'll soon be human again. I think you can figure out which song goes. So, just like that, I just hope that they are considering, right, how this song will fit into the film and how this song will impact, I shouldn't say impede, will impact the flow and the pacing of the movie. And just aside from, regular concerns about, for example, how it will sound, what the visuals will be like, who's going to sing it. That's another big deal. I mean, I saw the live action version of Beauty and the Beast, and the singing was not good. The singing was not good. And I tried to be fair because, again, it's a live action film. Most actors are not trained singers. But oh God, Emma Watson trying to sing these songs, it wasn't good. And then even, Luke Evans, I thought he actually did as good a Gaston as he could. But the whole thing about Gaston as a character is that he's this, just this parody of masculinity, right? He's this over-the-top macho man, and so he's supposed to have this deep, booming voice. And to hear, Luke Evans sing certain parts of the Gaston song, like, there's this one line where in the film is like, I'm trying to think, as a specimen, yes, I'm intimidating, right? That's how it's supposed to sound, this deep, type of sound, baritone, right? And Luke Evans is like, as a specimen, yes, I'm intimidating. I'm like, oh God. I was just seething in embarrassment for him watching that in the theater. It was awful. But anyway, so just those concerns aside, right? Assuming that they get the singing right and what am I looking for? And just the visuals right. And it fits. My question is, first of all, why is Jasmine getting a new song? From what I'm hearing, it's supposed to be an empowering anthem. Why is she getting a new song? Why does she even need a song? I'm not opposed to her getting a song, but I want her to, if she's going to get a song about her, right? If she's going to be singing a song about herself, I think it needs to be about, right? It has to be for the right reasons, is basically what I'm saying. She should not be getting a song just because she's female. And no, we must now empower women. No. The women in Disney's films who have songs about them, right? For example, Belle from Beauty and the Beast, right? The reprise of Belle, that song that she sings after Gaston proposes marriage, right? Where the one where she's like, I want adventure in the great wide somewhere, that one, right? Or Reflection in Mulan, right? So it's not that Disney's never given their female characters songs to sing about themselves, but the question is, does it work? Does it fit? Belle and Mulan didn't get songs that they sing about themselves because they were female. They got those songs because they are the leads of the film, right? Aladdin, for example, has certain songs like One Jump Ahead, or the reprise of One Jump Ahead, Riff Raff, Street Rat, I don't buy that, and all that stuff, right? He gets those songs where he gets to, sort of express himself a bit more because he's the lead character of the film. That's why he gets that song. Not because he's a man, but because he's the lead of the film. So again, I have nothing against the idea itself of adding a song for Jasmine. I'm just concerned about the reasons for it. Because again, she's not the lead of the film. She is not guaranteed to have a song. She isn't the lead. And more important, well, not more importantly, but just as important, how will this song, for example, what will this song tell us about her that we don't already know? That we can see, in the movie. We know that she's headstrong and she's rebellious and she loves her dad and she likes the rebellious bad boy with a good heart, which is, of course, Aladdin. So we know a lot about her already. We know that she won't marry for love, which is incredibly progressive, especially coming from an ancient culture. A princess telling her daddy, "No, Dad, I'm going to get married on my own terms," is pretty damn progressive in my eyes, especially for an ancient culture. So anyway, that's those are basically my thoughts on it. Again, not against it in and of itself, but I'm basically concerned about the reasons for it, if it will tell us something about Jasmine that we don't already know, and how it will fit and how it will sound. Right? I'm hoping that it will actually improve the film. I'm hoping it will improve the film and not just be thrown in there for the sake of being thrown in there, or for the sake of being woke. As, for example, there were a few extra songs that were added to the live-action version of Beauty and the Beast that I absolutely hated because it just made no sense. Right? In my opinion, they just should have taken the songs, a few of the songs from the musical, like Home, which is when Belle is talking about, what is home to her after she agrees to be the Beast prisoner, or, If I Can't Love Her, which is, the Beast basically agonizing internal monologue of how he feels that he will never be able to fall in love, and, as a result, will never break the spell. I think you need songs like that give more insight into a character, into a situation, not just songs to add for the sake of adding them. So anyway, that's my opinion on it. Let me know what you think. And hope to make another video for you guys soon. Also, I've gotten a few more subscribers, so welcome to the channel. I hope you like the content. Have a good night. Bye.